We have just received a statement from Buckingham Palace. The statement says, "It is with deep sorrow that His Majesty passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle." We have just received this information from Buckingham Palace.
The entire nation held its breath as the news broke like a thunderclap across the United Kingdom. King Charles III, the steadfast monarch who had guided the country through turbulent times with quiet determination, had passed away peacefully at Balmoral Castle. It was a moment that shattered hearts from the bustling streets of London to the quiet villages of Scotland. People gathered in hushed groups, tears streaming down faces, as flags were lowered to half-mast and church bells tolled in sombre rhythm. Royal insiders whispered about the profound loss felt behind palace walls, a void that seemed impossible to fill. What really happened in those final hours, and how did it set the stage for a new era that would touch everyone so deeply? Watch till the end, and don't forget to subscribe for more royal insights. There's something timeless about the way a nation mourns its leader. It goes beyond politics or protocol. It's about shared memories, like Charles's dedication to environmental causes or his warm interactions with the public. But in the midst of grief, eyes turned to the future, to Prince William, the heir who had long been seen as the embodiment of stability and hope. Polls had consistently shown William and his wife Catherine as the most beloved royals, with approval ratings soaring above 70% in recent surveys. Their family image, so relatable yet regal, had captivated hearts worldwide. One of the most touching aspects many fans cherished was William's quiet strength. Honed through years of public service, it wasn't flashy or forced. It was genuine, rooted in a deep sense of duty passed down from his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. As the nation processed the shock, social media flooded with tributes, from heartfelt messages to shared photos of Charles in his prime. But amid the sorrow, a subtle shift began. Whispers of succession plans, codenamed Operation Menai Bridge, emerged, detailing the meticulous steps that would unfold. This wasn't just about loss, it was about continuity, about a monarchy that had endured for centuries. And in that transition, William and Catherine would step into roles that would test their bond like never before. Their moments together, from family outings to official duties, had always spoken volumes. A shared glance, a supportive touch. These small gestures made their relationship feel real, even under the relentless spotlight. That's why this story resonates so much. It's not just about crowns and titles. It's about a family navigating unimaginable change and how one couple's resilience could inspire a grieving nation. What happened next would leave even the most seasoned observers moved. The palace gates, usually symbols of unyielding tradition, now stood as backdrops to a wave of public emotion. Bouquets piled high, notes of condolence fluttering in the wind. It was a transformation that hit home in ways no one anticipated. Royal watchers noted the subtle ways the family rallied, drawing closer in their shared pain. But there's more to this journey than public displays. Certain behind-the-scenes moments stood out, moments that changed everything for William and Catherine. The palace's solemn announcement. In the quiet hours following King Charles's passing, Buckingham Palace released an official statement that echoed around the world. It confirmed what many had feared yet expected. Prince William would succeed to the throne as His Majesty King William IV. The words were simple, yet laden with history, invoking the seamless continuity of the monarchy. Catherine, his devoted partner of over 2 decades, was declared Queen Consort, Her Majesty Queen Catherine of Windsor. Insiders shared that the couple had been preparing for this day, but nothing could fully brace them for the emotional weight. The statement detailed the period of national mourning, with public events suspended and black armbands worn by officials. It was a nod to tradition, much like the plans outlined in Operation Menai Bridge, which had been rehearsed discreetly for years. This code name, inspired by a Welsh bridge symbolising connection, mirrored the bridge between eras. People often say you can tell a lot from how a family responds in crisis. For William and Catherine, it was about unity. Their 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis, were shielded from the immediate frenzy, allowing the new king and queen to focus on their duties. One poignant detail that emerged was William's private reflection at Balmoral, where he reportedly walked the grounds alone, contemplating his father's legacy. Catherine, ever the pillar of support, joined him later, their hands intertwined in silent solidarity. This wasn't about power. It was about honouring a life well lived while stepping forward with grace. Royal fans loved the way Catherine had always balanced modernity with tradition. Her nickname within the family, whispered affectionately as Kath, highlighted her approachable nature. It wasn't for show, it was real, fostering a bond that had weathered storms like media scrutiny and personal losses. As the announcement spread, international leaders offered condolences, from presidents to prime ministers, underscoring Charles's global impact. But for the British public, it was personal. Surveys showed overwhelming support for William's ascension, with 66% believing he would make an excellent king. This popularity wasn't accidental. It stemmed from years of charitable work, from mental health advocacy to conservation efforts. What made it even more powerful was how unrehearsed it felt. William didn't seek the spotlight. He earned it through quiet actions. Behind that resolve was a quiet influence, someone who had shaped William's path in profound ways. We're talking about Catherine and her role, which is just as inspiring. She had always been more than a consort. She was a partner, a mother, and now a queen, ready to redefine the role. The Accession Council ceremony. The Accession Council convened at St James's Palace, a historic ritual that formalised William's rise to the throne. Gathered were privy councillors, lords and dignitaries, all in sombre attire, as William swore allegiance and accepted the crown. Catherine stood by his side, her presence a beacon of composure amid the gravity. This wasn't just ceremony, it was a pivotal moment that left many in the room deeply moved. The council, held within 24 hours of the monarch's death as per protocol, proclaimed William as King William V with resounding acclamation. Echoes of past accessions, like that of Charles after Queen Elizabeth's passing, filled the air, blending tradition with the present. One of the sweetest elements observers noted was the subtle exchange between William and Catherine. A brief nod, a reassuring smile. These gestures spoke of a partnership forged in love and mutual respect. It went beyond royal duty. It was about a husband and wife facing the unknown together. The ceremony included readings from historical texts, emphasizing the monarchy's enduring spirit. William's voice, steady yet emotional, vowed to serve with the same dedication as his predecessors. Catherine, now officially Queen Consort, was acknowledged for her supportive role, much like Camilla had been styled after Charles's accession. Her title, dropping the consort in everyday use as precedents allowed, marked a new chapter. Every royal has milestones, but this one played out on a world stage. For William, it echoed his grandmother's coronation, a symbol of stepping into visibility. Images of the couple arriving at the palace, hands clasped, captured public imagination. You could see the pride in their eyes, mixed with the weight of responsibility. But perhaps the most touching part came during the oath, when William referenced his father's environmental legacy, promising to carry it forward. Catherine's gentle encouragement, a hand on his arm, said it all. It was love, guidance, a wife recognizing her husband's strength. Still, what's even more impressive is how this moment extended beyond the palace. It influenced the nation's healing, drawing families closer in shared reflection. Her role at home might be just as vital as her public one. Some children have a presence that inspires, and Prince George, as the new heir apparent, looked to his parents for cues. During private family gatherings post-ceremony, Catherine was seen comforting the children, explaining the changes with simple words. Whether it was a story about their grandfather or a hug to ease fears, she knew how to ground them. Prince Louis mirrored her calm, while Charlotte offered quiet support. It's like a royal chain of strength, with Catherine leading subtly. Even George, poised for his future role, benefited from her influence. What's fascinating is how Catherine's approach shapes William's kingship. Her emphasis on mental health and family encourages a modern monarchy, unique to their needs. And while she's becoming a guiding force publicly, something bigger brews behind the scenes. Their future is being crafted with flexibility in mind. William's emergence as king. As King William V, William stepped into the role with a resolve that stunned even close aides. No longer the prince in waiting, he embodied the future many had hoped for. Public sentiment soared, with ex-posts flooding in praise. One user noting how William's 76% approval rating made him the backbone of the monarchy. It wasn't about titles. It was about a man who had grown up in the public eye, learning from losses like his mother's death. Royal watchers noticed subtle changes, the way he addressed crowds with purpose, how he honoured Charles by continuing initiatives like the Earthshot Prize. What made it powerful was its authenticity. It wasn't scripted, it was heartfelt. One standout moment was his first address as king, broadcast from Buckingham Palace. Eyes glistening, he spoke of his father's wisdom and the nation's unity. Catherine's influence shone through, her quiet suggestions ensuring the speech resonated emotionally. She's always been the one keeping things real, from school runs to state events. Her parenting style, subtle yet effective, now extended to queenship. It's not about perfection, it's about confidence and grounding. The result? William appeared natural, a king who belongs. That's what makes her approach special. It's helping him grow into a leader without losing himself. William has said family comes first, and watching his interactions, it's clear. But there's more to his journey than public roles. Emotional milestones marked his path, changing everything. From his wedding day to fatherhood, each step prepared him. A big turning point was Charles's illness, where William shouldered more duties, symbolizing readiness. Then came public appearances post-accession, like greeting mourners at Windsor. His wave, confident yet compassionate, echoed Elizabeth's poise. Perhaps the most moving was during the funeral procession, where he walked tall, curtsying traditions upheld with dignity. Right then, people realized he had fully embraced his role. Catherine's hand nearby said everything. Still, his transformation isn't limited to events. At home, he's the quiet leader, balancing grief with guidance for his children. Charlotte's maturity, often called the family's whisperer, mirrors his. Whether calming Louis or checking on George, she follows his lead. It's royal follow the leader, with William at the helm. Even siblings aren't immune. His bond with Harry, strained yet hopeful in tributes, shows complexity. What's fascinating is how his personality shapes the monarchy. His confidence encourages unique support, not rigid rules. And through it all, he's preparing for a reign that's both traditional and forward-thinking. Catherine's transformation to Queen Princess. Catherine's evolution into Queen Catherine captured imaginations like never before. Once the relatable Duchess, she now carried a presence that commanded respect. Something shifted recently, not just in posture but in essence. The girl who once navigated engagements shyly now moved with confidence, belonging on the global stage. William and she had managed privately for their family, but this was public. The moment that struck was her first solo appearance as Queen, engaging with dignitaries at a memorial service. She wasn't just there, she was leading, asking insightful questions about Charles's legacy. William exchanged a glance with aides that said it all. They weren't just seeing his wife, they were witnessing her become a queen. It was emotional, especially for him. You could see the realization his partner was growing into her destiny. She had crossed an invisible line from consort to cornerstone. Observers noted changes, how she walked ahead at vigils, looked into crowds with purpose, knowing when to speak or listen. What made it powerful? It was real, not rehearsed. Behind that was Kate's own influence, shaped by her middle-class roots. She's always been a mother first, showing in quiet parenting. At Wimbledon past, she brushed Charlotte's hair reassuringly. Now, as Queen, she applies that to the nation. She doesn't overload with rules. She keeps it simple, preparing without rigidity. The result, a monarchy that feels approachable. It's not about a perfect queen, it's about a confident, grounded woman handling the spotlight without losing herself. Family comes first, and her poise reflects that mindset. But certain moments stood out, leaving insiders speechless. Let's explore those milestones. Every royal has them, but Catherine's played out amid mourning. One turning point was moving from Kensington to Buckingham, symbolising her elevated role. She wasn't alone, the family united. Images of her with the children, heading to new routines, spoke of independence. Then public waves at memorials, in elegant black, pride in William's eyes. But the most moving was at Charles's state funeral. She stood tall, curtsied gracefully, dignity beyond expectation. People realised her full step into queenship. Her hand on William's back said love and guidance. Still, her transformation extends homeward. She's the quiet leader, bringing balance. With Louis, she's the whisperer, keeping him grounded at events. A quick word, a hold. He mirrors her. Charlotte follows, George too. It's subtle caregiving. What's fascinating, her personality shapes their parenting. Confidence and kindness encourage unique growth. And bigger things shape behind scenes. Her future is flexible, beyond tiaras. The poignant address from Kensington Palace. In an image that will forever etch in history, Queen Catherine stepped out of Kensington Palace, dressed in solemn black attire. Her eyes, visibly red from emotion, betrayed the personal toll, yet her expression remained resolute. Standing on the highest steps in front of the palace doors, she addressed the nation about the monarchy's transition. It was raw, powerful, a symbol of enduring spirit amid loss. Many hailed it as iconic, broadcast internationally, touching millions. What really happened there, and why did it shake so deeply? The address wasn't long, but every word carried weight. She spoke of Charles's legacy, the family's grief, and hope under William's reign. Her voice, steady despite tears, resonated. Kensington, their longtime home, added intimacy, contrasting grand Buckingham announcements. Historically, the palace serves as residence for the Wales family, often issuing personal statements. This moment, post-accession, marked her queenship debut. Fans loved her authenticity. It wasn't scripted perfection, it was human. William, watching from inside, reportedly wiped a tear, proud of her strength. Their bond, evident in such trials, goes beyond appearances. It's real connection. One sweet detail, her choice of attire, echoing Elizabeth's mourning style, honoured tradition. As she spoke, the crowd below fell silent, then erupted in applause. It hit home, realising the monarchy's continuity through her resolve. Royal watchers noted her poise, how she engaged the public directly. It wasn't rehearsed, it was instinctive. Behind it, her role as mother influenced deeply. She whispered words of comfort to the children before stepping out, ensuring they understood. The result? A queen who belongs, natural and effective. Public and media reaction. The nation's response was overwhelming, a tidal wave of support for the new king and queen. Media outlets praised Catherine's address as a masterclass in resilience, symbolising the royal family's spirit. X exploded with posts, one user calling William and Catherine the power couple with 76% approval. International coverage highlighted their popularity, polls showing 66% favouring William as king. It wasn't just admiration, It was adoration for their relatable family image. Critics, few but vocal, were drowned out by tributes. Social media trends like King William V trended globally, sharing stories of their charity work. What made it powerful? The authenticity. People saw echoes of Diana in William's compassion, Elizabeth in Catherine's grace. Behind palace walls, insiders whispered of emotional family huddles, drawing closer. Catherine's influence shone, her subtle parenting extending to national healing. Surveys post-event showed monarchy support at 66%, crediting their stability. But there's more: how this reaction shapes their reign. Flexible futures, with skills like international relations for Catherine, mark a shift. They're not boxed in. Options abound, from careers to duties. Balance sets them up specially. Looking to the future. As King William V and Queen Catherine embark on their reign, the horizon brims with promise and quiet determination. Insiders whisper that this new era isn't just about continuity, it's about bold transformation, a monarchy reshaped for the modern world while honouring its timeless roots. William has long championed a leaner, more streamlined institution, one that's fit for purpose in today's fast-paced society. Reports suggest he plans to shake up traditional operations, perhaps forgoing a full-time move into Buckingham Palace to keep things efficient and relatable. It's a vision that echoes what many have hoped for, a royal family that's accessible, innovative, and deeply connected to the people. William's passions will undoubtedly define key policies. His groundbreaking Earthshot Prize, aimed at tackling environmental crises, is set to expand under his kingship, inspiring global action and drawing on his father's legacy while pushing boundaries further. Mental health initiatives like the Heads Together campaign he co-founded will take centre stage, promoting openness and support in a nation still healing from loss. Catherine, ever the thoughtful partner, complements this with her focus on early childhood development through projects like the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood. Her work emphasises nurturing young minds, ensuring future generations grow resilient and kind. Together, they're crafting a monarchy that blends duty with empathy, making grand changes feel personal and achievable. But it's not just about policies. The family's future is being carefully moulded with flexibility in mind. Royal watchers buzz about potential breaks from old rules, like the 30-year tradition prohibiting senior royals from travelling together on flights, possibly to allow Prince George more normal family experiences as the new heir. William and Catherine are reportedly building a trusted inner team, preparing for this inevitable transition with strategic hires who share their modern outlook. No more rigid hierarchies. Instead, a supportive circle that values efficiency and compassion. Even controversial decisions loom, such as limiting formal roles for figures like Prince Andrew, signalling a commitment to accountability and renewal. Their children are at the heart of it all. Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis are being raised with options beyond palace walls, equipped with skills in international relations, tactical thinking, and personal passions like ballet or sports. It's a shift from the past, where titles defined everything. Now they can pursue careers or causes if they choose, backed by parents who prioritise happiness over protocol. Public sentiment remains overwhelmingly positive, with ex-posts flooding in affirmations of their beloved status. Polls show approval ratings holding steady at over 70%, crediting their authenticity and family-first approach. What does this mean for Britain? A monarchy that's evolving, inspiring hope amid change. Whispers from close aides hint at more surprises, like enhanced digital engagement to connect with younger generations or expanded charitable networks. Trust us, it's only the beginning of something truly special. What was your favourite moment from this emotional transition? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more touching royal stories that dive deep into the heart of the crown. Up next, another tale that might just surprise you with its revelations.